Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sipniewski, and thank you so much for popping by my channel. So you know what you're thinking. It's the corner of the office. Must be a LumaFusion tutorial, right? Not a LumaFusion tutorial, sort of to do with LumaFusion, but not a LumaFusion tutorial. Today we're going to be discussing the storage on your iPad. And if you're like me, it seems like the great amount of gigabytes gobbled up on my iPad are because of not because of LumaFusion, but because of things I'm sending to LumaFusion, things I'm saving in case I might need it in the future in LumaFusion, things that are cached in LumaFusion. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anytime you're dealing with video files, these take up a great amount of data. A funny story, when I bought my first generation iPad Pro, I had already owned two previous iPads, and I never worked with videos before. And the guy talked me into buying the 128 gigabyte version. And I'm thinking to myself, what a salesman this guy is. There's no way that I'm ever going to fill up 128 gigabytes on this iPad ever. Well, if you've only ever worked with Word documents or Excel documents, the data involved with those is just absolutely minuscule. And when you get involved in video, then you have a true understanding of huge files, and where does it all go, and how can we save space, and how can I make things more efficient on my iPad, and how can I utilize the cloud? When I first discovered LumaFusion, I didn't really know that much about videos or video files, or really where things are stored on the iPad. It took a lot of trial and error in getting things figured out. I actually dumped my iPad twice, like a complete factory reset, because I didn't know of certain things having to do with LumaFusion and storage, but I've since figured it out. It's kind of like a little backdoor thing. Let's go ahead, jump on the overhead camera so I can share this little backdoor secret with you. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Let's go ahead and figure it out. By the way, the lavalier microphone that I'm wearing today is by AGD, or Das Best. That's literally what they have written on the bag. Das Best, which means the best in German. So if you like the audio quality that you're hearing, you can get this for 20 bucks on Amazon. So before we get into the storage on iPad, you know, just in case you're someone very new, you don't know that much or really know anything about video files and how to get video files onto your iPad, if you're working with a camera like a DSLR camera or a mirrorless camera, chances are you're going to need one of these, and this is an SD card. This is where all of the stuff that's going to go that you record or take pictures on your camera. Now you take this out of your camera and you're going to need this, and this is an SD to Lightning dongle, and this is what you need to get the information from your camera SD card into your iPad. By the way, this is an authentic Apple SD card reader. There are just some things you cannot cut corners on. SD card readers and plastic surgery. Sometimes, you know, you get what you pay for. So let's go ahead and teach you guys how to insert this into your iPad. So the only thing that you need to do is insert the dongle with the SD card in it directly into your iPad. And your iPad is going to recognize that it has something plugged into it. It's going to understand what it is, and it's going to ask you what you want to do from here. Right now, it's showing me all of the images and videos that I have on this SD card, and it's asking me what I want to do here. Do I want to import everything? So what I want to do is just select what I want to import, select it all, and hit import. Import selected, yes, and then it's going to import what I selected. Or you can always select import all, and it will import every single thing that you have on that SD card. And once your information is done importing and downloading, it's going to ask you if you want to delete these images off your SD card or whether you want to keep them. I always just delete them, and it will immediately delete what it's imported and leave what it's not imported. I'm just going to go ahead and unplug that from my iPad. So now to look at what you've already imported, just hit photos, and here we are. This is everything that we've just imported right here. Now let's say I don't want a video. Let's say I decide that this just did not come out the way that I wanted it to come out. I can throw it away, delete. Now, because I deleted that, does that mean it's gone now that I've deleted it? Can I never see it again? And the answer is no. So here's the thing about storage on your iPad. There's a lot of things that are in here. They're just in different places. You may not even realize that they're there. Like items that you delete. Just because you've deleted them doesn't mean that they're always gone. You have 30 days to retrieve anything that you've deleted. And how we can do that is by going to albums. And if you scroll all the way down, you're going to see recently deleted. Here is 55 videos that I have deleted on my iPad but are still just sitting in there just in case I want to retrieve them. But I don't want to, so what I'm going to do is get them out of there. I'm going to hit select and I'm going to put delete all. Yes, delete all 55 items. So that's going to clear up a lot of the data on my iPad. Okay, so let's check out the storage that we're working with on our iPads, and we can do that by going to settings, which is the little wheel right here. And what we want to do is go to General and go to iPad Storage. And here is where you're going to see exactly how much storage you have available in your iPad and the total amount of gigabytes that are on your iPad as a whole. And it's going to show you how much is being used by apps, by messages, media like books, how much is used up by your iCloud Drive, and how much is used up by a mysterious thing called Other. What is this Other? Let's scroll down all the way down to the very bottom. Do you see this little icon here called System? Do you see it says 25 gigabytes? Now, when I first purchased this iPad, the system, I think, said 5 gigabytes. So something is getting into the system. Something is being mysteriously stored on my iPad, and it's taking up a big chunk of my iPad. I mean, look at this Other. Look at it. I mean, the apps is just a minuscule little piece of my bar, and this Other is quite large. Okay, so if we want to look at and see what is taking up space app-wise on our iPad, we can see it all right here. These are the apps that are taking up space. Even though LumaFusion says it's only 2.86 gigabytes, that's not necessarily true. Before I delve a little more into this, I want to talk about your iCloud. Before we proceed any further, I just want to let you guys know, you probably already do, but just in case someone's watching this and they don't, if you own an iPhone or an iPad, this entitles you to 5 gigabytes worth of storage on the iCloud. Now, that's not per device, that's per account. So if you have an iPhone and an iPad, you have to split that cloud between those two devices. And if you work with video, you know, 5 gigabytes gets gobbled up in absolutely no time. So after that, once you're almost right there, maxed out at that 5 gigabytes worth of space, you'll be prompted to increase the amount of storage. And it goes from 5 to 50. And I believe I was paying 99 cents a month for the 50 gigabytes of storage. I quickly filled that up. Then I went to 200 gigabytes, and I think that was $2.99. Okay, so let's get back to storage. So right now you can see that, let me just pull up my cloud. But let's say that I wanted to increase my storage or actually bring down the amount of storage and save some money. How would I do that? How would I get to that? If there's nothing here for me to hit, how can I get to iCloud? You would go to the very top and come here to where it says your name. You would come over here and hit iCloud, and then you would hit manage storage. Okay, so I have 2 terabytes worth of storage. So you can see that I'm paying the $9.99 per month. So if I wanted to downgrade, I would just hit that right here, hit downgrade options, and that would allow me to change the plan that I'm on. Okay, so that's how you get to that. So for a minute, let's go back to the camera roll. I wanted to show you. Let's say that I wanted to send this particular video to work with into LumaFusion. What I always do is immediately send everything into my iCloud. And how I would get this file out of my photo roll and get it into my iCloud is by hitting the share button. And that's with the page with the arrow up. So let's go ahead and hit that. And I'm going to choose Save to Files. And it's going to bring up my iCloud Drive. And it's going to show me all of the different folders that I have in my iCloud Drive. And I'm going to choose Gear Channel. I'll put add right there. If I want to get to my iCloud, I would simply go to the icon that looks like a file folder, and that is where your iCloud is going to be represented. This is going to be your iCloud, and this is going to be all of the space on your iPad as well. So to hit your iCloud to see all of the files that you have, it's all going to be right there. If you want to add a file, all you'd have to do is hit the plus with the folder, and you can add a file folder. So let's go ahead ahead and hit that video that I just sent to the gear channel. Now let's say that I wanted to get this video into LumaFusion. The only thing I would need to do is hit the share button again, and this is going to pull up a lot of different options, and I am going to say open in LumaFusion. In this upper left hand corner is everything that I have imported from my iCloud drive into LumaFusion. Now let's say that I'm using something from one of these files and I'm using it in a video. Here are all of my videos. This is my project manager, and these are all the different videos that I have on this particular iPad. If I have one of these videos being used in a project that's saved in LumaFusion, you're going to notice that I can't throw it away right here. I can throw this directly away in LumaFusion just by tapping the garbage can that's right there. But if this is being used in a project that's in the project manager, I won't be able to erase that out of LumaFusion directly out of the app right here. It's not going to allow me to do it. So let's talk about how can you erase things out of LumaFusion. Okay, so very important. This is what I didn't know when I was initially using LumaFusion, and my iPad was getting so full all of the time, I literally complete factory reset twice because it was so full with information and I didn't know where that information was. Where was it being stored? What is this system and what's going on? I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so let's quit LumaFusion and let's go back to our file folder. Right here where it says on my iPad, you're going to see a file folder that says LumaFusion. I didn't know about this particular file folder when I was initially working with LumaFusion. I was just erasing things out of LumaFusion and assuming that they were just gone. I didn't know about this on my iPad and this LumaFusion. So let's have a look at these different file folders that have to do with LumaFusion that are using up a lot of data on your iPad. So first of all, user media, and this is where everything that you've imported in from your iCloud drive, you can see it. Now, you can delete anything you want out of here, even if it is in one of your projects that is saved in your project manager. You can delete it out of here, no problem. But when you go to pull up that project in LumaFusion, that data is going to be gone and it's going to say that you have missing files in that particular project. But you can do it. The only thing that you need to do to delete something out of this is to hit select, choose whatever it is that you want to dump and get rid of, and then just hit delete, and then you're done. Here's another area perhaps that you don't know of. It's called project backups. This is pretty much everything that I've worked on in LumaFusion since my last iPad dump. I think my last iPad dump was in, February of 2019. So there are things stored in here. Now, if you've already dumped everything out of your cache and LumaFusion, that's going to be gone. But let's say you pull one of these things up and there's just a little bit of information left from that project in the system. It's going to pull up whatever you do have along with a red line that says missing media. So there it says missing media. There is my intro to my channel and the music. So let's say that I wanted to just go ahead and delete all of these project backups. All we'd have to do is hit select, select all, and we can hit delete. And that is going to delete every single project backup that we have. Okay, and finally, the last little thing that's gobbling up gigabytes on your iPad, recently deleted. So here is all the stuff that you have recently deleted that is just sitting on your iPad. So if you just want to erase that and dump that out, you may. Okay, you guys, so that's where you need to go if you want to free up some gigabytes on your iPad. Let's say you're running out of space, you're maxed out, you don't know what to do. Go to those areas, clear out your cache if you don't need them, and don't forget to utilize that 5 gigabytes worth of space on the iCloud, okay? And in case you're interested, I am going to show you guys how to get this to work, and this is 2 terabytes, and like I said, I spent $65 on it. I do need an additional piece of hardware that's $45, so $110 total for 2 terabytes. So the total cost cost for this and the other device is going to be $10 less than I'll pay all year for 2 terabytes of storage on the cloud. I am going to continue to maintain iCloud storage, but I'm probably going to max it out at 50. It's just so nice to have iCloud storage, just nice and so easy to work with everything that way. But you know, just backing everything up is absolutely essential. And like I said, the only reason that I even back things up is because I don't really know that much about YouTube. I don't know if they can be hacked and somebody can erase my account, or what if they have like a huge failure in their mainframe. Is that possible? I don't know. But in case that happens and something happens to the data from my channel at the headquarters of YouTube, I can quickly repopulate my channel as long as I have all of the videos I've ever created backed up somewhere. So that's why I keep everything backed up. I mean, I don't even know if that's possible, but let's say it is. Let's say I have an ex who doesn't like me and they break into YouTube and delete my channel. Can that happen? I don't know. Okay guys, well that's going to do it here for me today, dealing with storage. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Thank you for joining me. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up, and until next time, wear your sunblock.